Yo, so guys, what's going on? It's ProfessorSnipe here, and welcome back to another gameplay commentary on my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Battlefield 4, my impressions on it, and what I think about the game from what we've seen, which is the 17-minute trailer. But before I start out, I want to give a massive shout out to 10 Decades. He's a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends from school, and he recently started up his channel where he posts his music, his own made music, where he writes everything and he does the beats and he raps to it. And basically he's been posting right now. He's got around 2 songs, I think, or a third one coming out soon, and they've reached almost 10,000 views. He's actually doing really well, and he just deserves those subscribers and that support. So I really want you guys to go check out his channel. I'll link it down in the description alongside with his videos, and all you have to do, click on that video, give it a like and comment, tell him that I sent you guys, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be really glad about it, and he's gonna be happy. So let's just leave a smile on his face by checking out his channel, and that'll be really greatly appreciated. So enough for those shoutouts. I just wanted to give that big shout out to him because he really deserves it, and he's a really good friend of mine. Now let's move on to Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is what is to known sequel, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's the next game on in the Battlefield series. Now, from what I've seen, and if you guys haven't seen the Battlefield 4 footage, you can click on an annotation on your top left corner of the screen, and it's a blue and it says Battlefield 4 footage. Press on it. It's going to be a 17-minute long video, so it's pretty long, but it's gameplay trailer, and you see some gameplay, you see some cinematics, you see all that stuff about Battlefield 4, and it's the first released footage of it. Now, I didn't post this on my channel, the actual footage, because I fear I might get a strike from EA. So I know that there are only some channels that are, they have the privilege of uploading that. So I decided not to take that risk and get my channel striked or my videos striked. So I decided to back off and just post some Battlefield Play for Free footage because I'm primarily a Battlefield Play for Free channel. So let me talk about Battlefield 4, my impressions, and what I feel that should be fixed from Battlefield 3. Now, to start out, talking about in general what I saw, I've seen that the graphics have been slightly improved. I mean, there isn't too much of a big difference, but it seems to be, the lighting and everything seems to be more even now in a way where it's not too dark or too light. It seems to be really balanced, and there's a nice counterbalance of lighting and effects, which makes it really nice and pleasant to the eyes. I mean, I've seen stuff like sparks coming out of the, electricity sparks and all of that stuff, it feels really nice. It looks really nice to look at, whereas where you saw that in Battlefield 3, it wasn't too evened out. It would be or too light, the fire would be too light, or if you get into an alley, it would be too dark. Now, what I've realized about the engine, it is an upgraded engine, which is the Frostbite 3 engine, but I don't see a big difference. I just feel like it's really updated. Other than that, it's not a total huge thing, but always an update is always a good thing to have. So other than that, the new weapons, I've seen the M16A3, which is pretty overpowered in Battlefield 3, but it had some nice attachments. I'd say, like, it had an M145 on top of it, but then there would be this ability where you can switch to the iron sights by just tilting the gun a bit, so it'd be like you're shooting like a gangster, like a thug or something, and instead of aiming, holding the weapon properly, you would kind of tilt it where the iron sights were on the side of the gun instead of having it on the top of it. So that was one thing that was pretty cool, and they're innovating, which is making the game a bit cooler and more fresh. Now, what I feel about Battlefield 3 and should be improved is the suppression and the classes. Now, for suppression, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically whenever somebody shoots at you, your screen starts blurring, and your accuracy comes off. So basically, it makes sense. It's very realistic in a way where, imagine if you were in a real war and there you have like bullets whizzing past your ears, explosions, blowing up, cars, everything. And let's say there's a grenade that blows up beside you, and you're laying prone in the desert, in the sand, an explosion blows up, and a grenade blows up, and the sand gets into your eye, which is realistically possible. Now, of course you won't be able to see, you're going to be sweating already, the heat, and it makes sense that in Battlefield 3 they introduced that suppression to make it more realistic. Now, I have no problem with that, but we should also take into consideration that Battlefield is a video game. Now, people people don't really understand that. People are like, it's Battlefield, it should be real war. It's not real war. If you want real war, you're gonna play search and destroy on Call of Duty, not even Call of Duty. You're just gonna play a game where you die. If you die once, you just stop playing the game forever. That's real war. Now, I like the idea of suppression. It makes sense. It's realistic. But then the only problem with it is that I feel like the accuracy gets so inaccurate. Your weapon gets so inaccurate. Even if you're aiming 100% on the enemy, the bullets will, for some reason, just not travel to him, or will hit the outskirts or of his body, or will just not damage him, or something will not happen. Now, that's why they put suppression, is in a way to kind of reduce the accuracy, make it more realistic. But then the only problem, it works out for some weapons. Let's say I'm using the F2000 on the medic class, and I'm in close quarter combats, and somebody is shooting at me, and I do have suppression enabled on my screen, and my screen's kind of blurring, I can't see too much, but I'm still able to kill him, which is possible. Everybody's done it. Now the only problem it comes to, if you're using something like a sniper rifle, where it's not a fully automatic, it's a bullpup. I mean, not a bullpup, a bolt action, or it's a semi-automatic, a slow semi-automatic. The chances of that bullet hitting, even if you're 100% on target and you're under the effects of suppression, the chances are really slim. So imagine just being in close quarter combats with a sniper rifle. You see a guy, he sees you, you panic, you just want to take that first shot and damage him, then switch to your MP412 and just finish him off. I mean, it's possible to do so, but he's going to start shooting at you, and the suppression, your first shot of your sniper rifle won't even hit him. Even if you're zoomed in perfectly on his body or his head, it just won't hit him. And I mean, sometimes it does, but most likely it doesn't. Or, it just, suppression kind of ruins everything and makes the guns very inaccurate. Now, I just really don't like that, because I feel like it's favoring more one class or other classes, the fully automatic classes, than the recon class. And people always tell me, it's like, you're a recon, you're not going to get into close quarter combats, but you never know. There are engagements. There are always engagements where, let's say I'm going to run from A to C, I need to get there. There's always going to be one guy running from C to A, trying to capture or something. You're going to get into him, and if you're playing the recon class, which is my favorite class in every single game, what I don't like about it is that it's always one-sided. It's always one-sided no matter what. There's always no chance. So this is why I feel like for Battlefield 4, they should or reduce the suppression, or they should make it in a way where each class has its own different level of suppression. Whereas the recon class has a bit less suppression, so that it can counterbalance the chances of getting the kill, or not dying as often, which makes sense to help out the recon kind of play a role in the battlefield. Now, moving on to another discussion, what I feel about that should be changed is basically the classes. Now, each class, each has its own abilities. Let's say the medic class revives and heals. Engineer takes out vehicles, has mines, RPGs, javelins, and the support class has their C4s, their ammo packs, their claymores, all of that stuff, their LMGs, and then the sniper rifle have the recons have their sniper rifles, their motion sensor, and their MAV, or SOFLAM, or those things like that. Now, those are the classes basically, but there is an advantage, a clear advantage, that the medic class is the most overpowered and the most used. The medic basically has unlimited health if you know how to heal yourself. The best weapons, which are assault rifles, good at close, medium, and long range, and if you're using something like the ammo perk, you can basically get like 240 ammo, and you just have so much to spare. And it doesn't make sense that there's always one class that is overpowered than the other. So I feel like, one, it's pretty obvious the medic class is the most overpowered, but I feel like the recon is very underpowered. Now, not everybody plays as a team role, so for the medics, for the recons, they have their SOFLAM, but they can place it, but it's not going to be too useful. They're not even going to get too many points about it. They're barely going to get anything out of that SOFLAM. And the motion sensor is a good tool to have for a recon, but I feel like they should move the C4 back to the recon, so that they can have a chance. They can have something that is worth playing. Now, if you combine the suppression, like I said, the recon is pretty much useless. If somebody's shooting at you and you're trying to snipe him, even at long range, the suppression will ruin your shot. There's always going to be that. The suppression is always going to ruin and tamper with your playstyle, your gameplay, no matter what you do. And this is the reason I stopped playing Battlefield 3 on my PS3, is because I just couldn't take the suppression, so I decided to quit the game. And like I said, I want to see more balance. It can be, like I said, moving the C4 maybe or the claymores to the recon, give them a bit of an edge against more infantry, or give them an edge against vehicles, so that they can actually do something about it, or lower the suppression, or maybe make a 5th class. Now, this might be like a stupid idea for some people, but a 5th class might be the solution to balancing out some problems and some issues that make some certain classes more overpowered and some other classes underpowered. Now, a 5th class might be that one class that takes some perks from each and makes sure that the other class is not, doesn't have too much of an advantage. So each can play its own role, and I feel like that's what they should do. So that's pretty much all I have to say for Battlefield 4. To recap, I feel like it's looking good right now. For first impressions, the game, the engine and the graphics are looking very nice. The weapons are looking similar to Battlefield 3, but I like how they made that iron sight thing with the M145. I still don't know if that's going to be in multiplayer, most likely, but we still have yet to see. And last thing, I would think that if they want to improve Battlefield 4, they should definitely balance the classes and make more classes suitable for everything than just having one dominating the other, just like the meta class does. And I also think that they should just, if I said, lower the suppression. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long and boring. I wish I could have put some Battlefield 4 footage, but I didn't want to risk having a strike from EA. So hope you guys enjoyed this and this little commentary here on Battlefield 4. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.